Trust is the foundation of every meaningful connection, whether in love, friendships, or work. It's what allows us to open our hearts, be vulnerable, and rely on others for support. Without it, communication breaks down, relationships wither, and respect disappears. But here's the harsh reality. Not everyone in your life is worthy of your trust. While some people lift you up, others drag you into negativity, manipulation, and doubt. In today's world, where appearances often mask true intentions, figuring out who deserves your trust can be a minefield. A friendly face might hide a hidden agenda, and a firm handshake can be a cover for betrayal. That's where Stoic philosophy steps in. With its ancient wisdom, Stoicism helps us stay grounded and navigate these tricky relationships without losing our peace. In this video, we'll reveal 9 types of people you should never trust. We'll show you how to spot them and protect your mental well-being from their toxic influence. Before we dive in, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Your support keeps us motivated to bring you more life-changing insights. Ready to take control of your trust and peace of mind? Let's get started. The first type of person you should never trust: the gossipers and secret spreaders. Picture yourself enjoying a casual conversation with a colleague over coffee. At first, everything seems fine, but soon enough, they start spilling secrets, talking about the personal lives of your co-workers, pointing out their flaws, and revealing private details. They speak to you as if they trust you, making you feel special. But before you get too comfortable, ask yourself, should you trust this person? People who spread secrets are dangerous, and their behavior speaks volumes. It's not just harmless gossip. They often twist the truth, exaggerate details, or outright fabricate stories to make themselves sound more interesting. And here's the kicker. If they're talking about others behind their backs, what makes you think they won't do the same to you when it suits them? A small disagreement or an inconvenient moment can easily turn you into their next target. Stoic wisdom reminds us that trust isn't something to be given away lightly. Marcus Aurelius once said, "If someone speaks ill of others to you, don't think they won't do the same about you." People who disregard the privacy and dignity of others are not worthy of your trust. They'll use the secrets you confide in them against you when it no longer serves their agenda. True trust is built on respect and loyalty, not on drama or betrayal. When you notice someone constantly talking behind others' backs or spreading rumors, take it as a clear warning sign. Ask yourself, am I willing to risk my peace and well-being with someone like this? Instead of investing in people who thrive on others' misfortune, focus on building relationships with those who know how to keep secrets and value your trust. These are the people who will support you, stand by your side, and never use your vulnerabilities against you. The second type of person you should never trust: the constant critic. Imagine pouring your heart and soul into an important project, late nights, early mornings, and intense focus. Finally, the day arrives to share your hard work, but instead of receiving encouragement or constructive feedback, you're bombarded with harsh criticism. This isn't good enough. Why didn't you aim higher? Suddenly it feels as if all your efforts have been dismissed, leaving you feeling deflated and misunderstood. The words aren't meant to help you improve. They're designed to tear you down. Constant critics often disguise their negativity as honesty or helpfulness, but they only create toxic environments. Rather than fostering growth, they cultivate fear of making mistakes, fear of being judged, and fear of ever being good enough. In such a space, creativity fades, replaced by defensiveness and crippling self-doubt. You start to feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells, waiting for the next wave of disapproval. Stoic philosophy offers wisdom in dealing with such individuals. Criticism only has as much power as you give it. As Marcus Aurelius famously said, "Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears." This doesn't mean you ignore all feedback, but rather that you filter it. Is this feedback constructive and designed to help you grow, or is it simply a reflection of someone's bitterness? If it's helpful, use it to improve. If it's baseless, let it go. Think of this scenario. You're playing on a recreational soccer team, and every time your pass goes off target, a teammate mocks you instead of offering guidance. Over time, the joy you once felt for the game fades, and soon you start dreading every moment on the field. This is the devastating effect of constant, unhelpful criticism. But the good news is, you have the power to change the narrative. Focus on what you can control: your improvement, your mindset, and your personal growth. Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies not in avoiding criticism, but in how we respond to it. Refuse to let relentless critics define your worth. Protect your self-esteem. Seek out feedback that propels you forward, and reject negativity that only holds you back. When you stop letting criticism dictate your self-perception, you unlock the freedom to grow, adapt, and thrive. The third type of person. You should never trust the fair-weather friend. There's a certain type of person who's always at the parties, always smiling, and effortlessly fitting in with everyone around them. But when life hands you real challenges, they disappear as quickly as a shadow in the fog. Fair-weather friends are great at showing up when you're celebrating success, thriving, or when it's easy for them to be around. But when the going gets tough and you need a genuine friend, someone to offer support, lend an ear, or provide solid advice, they are nowhere to be found. I remember a time in my life when I took the leap to pursue a dream, opening a small cafe on a cozy street corner. At first, everything seemed perfect. I was met with congratulations and endless encouragement, especially from a close friend who I believed was a true supporter. But as the challenges started piling up, financial stress, sleepless nights, and the weight of uncertainty, he vanished. The calls grew infrequent, and when they did come, they were full of hollow pleasantries with no real depth. It was then I realized how little substance our friendship actually had. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the value of relationships isn't measured by how many friends you have, but by the depth and sincerity of those bonds. Seneca, a great Stoic thinker, emphasized that a few true friends are worth far more than 100 superficial ones. A real friend doesn't just celebrate your victories. They're there in the trenches with you when life gets hard. Stoicism encourages us to cultivate friendships rooted in mutual respect and genuine support, not just convenience or social appearances. Imagine you've just faced a setback. Maybe you lost your job, or you're going through a personal crisis. You reach out to that friend who always showed up for the fun times, hoping for some comfort or understanding. Instead, you're met with silence, or worse, they avoid you altogether. In those moments, the realization hits. Their presence was never meaningful, and their absence only deepens your sense of isolation. Don't let yourself be caught up in the trap of fair-weather friendships. These friends don't just drain your energy, they distance you from the true connections that can help you thrive in every season of life. Protect your emotional well-being by investing in friendships that are built on trust, loyalty, and mutual support. True friendships, the ones that endure through both the highs and lows, will not only enrich your life, they'll provide the peace of mind and strength you need to face whatever comes your way. The fourth type of person you should never trust. People who lack empathy. Imagine you're having a rough day and decide to open up to a friend, hoping for a bit of comfort. Instead of receiving understanding, you're met with a dismissive response like, "Oh, that's tough, but my day was even worse." Or worse still, they dive into a long rant about their own struggles and successes, leaving no room for your feelings. This is a glaring sign of someone who lacks empathy. Empathy isn't just about understanding another person's emotions. It's the very foundation of authentic and meaningful relationships. When you encounter people who lack it, you'll quickly notice their inability to put themselves in your shoes. They disregard your emotions, dominate conversations, and often exploit your vulnerabilities for their own gain. People who lack empathy can be emotionally draining. They turn every interaction into a monologue about themselves, showing no genuine interest in your well-being. These one-sided relationships can leave you feeling unseen, unheard, and undervalued. Stoic philosophy offers valuable guidance on how to handle such individuals. Epictetus teaches that kindness and understanding should be extended, even when they're not returned. Stoicism doesn't advocate for anger in response to indifference. Instead, it encourages patience, self-control, and using these encounters as opportunities to strengthen our own virtue. However, this doesn't mean you should tolerate harmful or disrespectful behavior. The Stoics emphasize the importance of boundaries for protecting your emotional and mental health. Imagine having a co-worker who constantly asks for your help, but never offers any support when you need it. When you turn to them for assistance, they make excuses or ignore you altogether. This is a perfect example of someone who lacks empathy, putting their needs above yours without a second thought. In such situations, Stoic philosophy teaches us to prioritize our inner peace. Instead of letting these people's actions affect your mood, treat them as reminders to be discerning about whom you trust and invest in. Setting boundaries isn't unkind, it's a necessary act of self-care. You can enjoy these people's company on a surface level if needed, but reserve your emotional energy for relationships that are genuine and reciprocal. Ultimately, it's the people who truly value and respect you who are worthy of your trust and emotional investment. The fifth type of person you should never trust: the instigator. Have you ever met someone who seems to exist solely to provoke you, to unsettle your peace? That's the instigator in your life. They're not interested in having genuine conversations or creating meaningful connections. They're there to disrupt and stir up trouble. Whether it's a sarcastic comment at the exact moment things are calm, or a cutting glance that chips away at your confidence, instigators have an uncanny ability to push your buttons and test your patience. Picture yourself in a yoga class designed for relaxation and mindfulness. Every time you try to center yourself and focus on your breath, there's someone in the corner making unnecessary remarks about your posture or letting out a mocking laugh that throws you off. At first, you brush it off, but over time, you realize that each class has turned into a challenge of maintaining your inner peace while resisting their provocations. Stoic philosophy teaches us a crucial lesson when facing such people. True strength lies in our ability to control our minds, not in trying to change the behavior of others. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Instead of reacting to provocations, Stoicism encourages us to examine our own perceptions. Ask yourself, why does this person's behavior affect me? What within me allows their actions to take control of my emotions? Once you reframe the situation and see these provocations as tests of your self-control, you regain your power. In a heated meeting, when a colleague continuously interrupts you, instead of feeling frustrated, consider it an opportunity to practice patience and composure. By not reacting the way they expect, you not only preserve your peace, but also reduce their power over you. Dealing with the instigator is not just about controlling your emotions. It's a chance for growth and self-mastery. Remember, When you gain mastery over your own mind, no one else can control you. That's the true freedom Stoic philosophy offers, the ability to stay calm and centered, no matter the provocations around you. The sixth type of person. You should never trust the chronic complainer. At some point, you've likely crossed paths with someone who seems perpetually stuck in a cycle of problems and suffering. They never stop talking about their struggles, often exaggerating their woes to draw attention and sympathy. The troubling truth is that no matter how much you listen, offer advice, or empathize, they're not genuinely seeking solutions. Instead, they crave validation and comfort, but are never ready to make any real changes. Imagine having a friend who constantly vents about their work issues. The first time you listen carefully and offer thoughtful advice. The second time, you start to feel concerned and offer more support. But by the 10th time, you realize nothing has changed. They aren't looking for answers. They just want someone to hear their complaints. You find yourself stuck in an endless loop of their sad stories, where all your efforts feel like they're falling on deaf ears, exhausting and unproductive. Stoic philosophy provides valuable insight when dealing with chronic complainers. Epictetus famously said, "Do not worry about things outside your control." This doesn't mean you should turn your back on them, but it does remind us to recognize our limits. While empathy is important, you can't let someone else's constant negativity drain your energy or overwhelm your mental peace. Instead of taking on the weight of their problems, you can offer clarity. Listen with compassion, but don't let their struggles become your emotional burden. If you notice these interactions draining your vitality, it's time to set boundaries. This not only helps preserve your inner peace, but also teaches them that true change can only come from within themselves. Offering support doesn't mean sacrificing your well-being. By practicing empathy without allowing it to turn into dependency, you can protect your emotional health. In the process, you'll learn to keep your peace intact, even when surrounded by negativity. Remember, true strength lies in your ability to remain centered, even when others choose to stay stuck in their complaints. The seventh type of person. You should never trust the two-faced person. One of the most frustrating and painful types of individuals to encounter in life is the two-faced person. On the surface, they seem warm, friendly, and supportive, creating the illusion of a genuine connection. But as soon as your back is turned, they're ready to undermine you, speaking ill of you, and betraying the very trust you thought you shared. Imagine this scenario. There's someone in your social circle who always appears cheerful, approachable, and reliable. You believe they're a true ally, someone you can count on, but then you learn that they've been spreading false rumors about you, damaging your reputation at a gathering or during a crucial event. The sting of betrayal is almost unbearable. How could someone you trusted be so deceitful? Stoic philosophy offers valuable insight into dealing with two-faced individuals. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, famously said, "It is better to be alone than to be in bad company." Relationships with people like this only serve to drain your energy, create distrust, and sow insecurity. Everything we aim to avoid in our pursuit of inner peace. The key is to recognize their true nature early on. When you encounter betrayal from a two-faced person, don't let their actions rattle your dignity or integrity. Reacting with anger or frustration only feeds into their manipulative game. Instead, maintain your composure and sever ties with these insincere individuals. Focus your energy on building authentic, meaningful relationships with people who value honesty, respect, and mutual support. By investing in relationships based on trust and integrity, you protect your inner peace and create a social circle that enhances your life. While the actions of two-faced individuals may hurt, Remember that you have control over how you respond. Upholding your values and remaining true to your principles will protect your self-respect and ensure that you only surround yourself with those who truly deserve your trust. In the end, you'll be rewarded with relationships that are far more genuine, fulfilling, and rewarding. The 8th type of person you should never trust: the person who can't take no for an answer. Have you ever encountered someone who simply refuses to accept the word no? These are the individuals who, when their requests are denied, use all sorts of tactics to pressure you into giving in. At first, they may seem friendly and approachable, but the moment you turn them down, their demeanor can shift. They may become cold, accusatory, or try to make you feel as though you're in the wrong for simply setting a boundary. Imagine a friend who frequently asks for your help. One day, you politely decline because you're overwhelmed with work or personal commitments. Instead of understanding, they act as if you've committed a serious wrong. You might hear phrases like, "I didn't think you were that kind of person," or "I would never do that to you." Not out of genuine concern, but to guilt trip you into compliance. Suddenly, you feel both pressured and unsure of your own worth. People who can't take no for an answer often view relationships as one-sided. They care about you only as long as you're useful to them. Once you assert your boundaries, however, they make you feel as though you're being selfish or unkind. Stoic philosophy teaches us that no one has the right to infringe upon our autonomy or values. As Marcus Aurelius wisely put it, you are responsible for your own emotions and decisions, not those of others. Healthy relationships are built on mutual respect, not manipulation or pressure. What makes matters worse is that this type of person may escalate their response when denied. They could weaponize your past vulnerabilities, using your personal failures or weaknesses against you to make you feel guilty. If you once confided in them about a struggle, they might bring it up now as leverage, just because you refused their request. In such situations, it's crucial to stand firm and uphold your boundaries. Don't let them invade your space or make you feel responsible for their disappointment. Seneca, another Stoic philosopher, wisely advised that it's better to distance yourself from disrespectful people than to maintain toxic relationships. This isn't about not caring. It's about prioritizing your self-respect and emotional well-being. Remember, you have the right to say no without feeling guilty or pressured to explain yourself. Each time you set a healthy boundary, you not only protect your peace, but also nurture an environment where relationships are based on mutual respect rather than coercion. The 9th type of person you should never trust: the psychological manipulator. The last type of person we'll discuss today is the psychological manipulator. This is someone who might initially appear charming and understanding, someone who makes you feel like you're confiding in a true ally. They listen attentively, nod in agreement, and offer comforting words, creating an illusion of deep connection. But beneath the surface, they have a hidden agenda. They aim to exploit your emotions, your trust, and your vulnerabilities for their own gain. Imagine this scenario. You have a new neighbor who always seems to show up just when you need help. One day you cut your hand while cooking, and they appear out of nowhere with a first aid kit offering comforting advice. You think, what a wonderful person, but as time passes, you start to notice a pattern. Every time they offer help, they subtly ask questions like, "Have you ever considered selling your house?" Or, "Would you mind if I hosted a party in your yard?" Gradually, you begin to realize that their kindness comes with strings attached. They are strategically manipulating the situation to their benefit. Psychological manipulators are highly skilled at using the information you share with them to gain an advantage. They might use your secrets against you in an argument or pressure you into doing something you wouldn't otherwise want to do. Their relationships are built on control, not trust. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, observe their actions, not just their words. This is a critical principle when dealing with someone who seems to be less than sincere. Take a closer look at how they treat you and others. Are they respectful of boundaries? Are they consistent in their actions? Stoic philosophy teaches us to set clear boundaries to protect ourselves from such individuals. If you notice someone using your emotions or personal information to manipulate you, it's time to step back and reassess the relationship. Don't allow them to control you or your emotions. Protect your well-being by reserving your trust for those who have earned it through consistent, honest behavior. Ultimately, not everyone deserves your trust. Manipulators can create chaos in your life, but remember, you have the power to protect your peace by keeping a safe distance from them. Surround yourself with genuine people who value and respect you, and invest in relationships that nourish your emotional health. And there you have it. We've now covered the 9 types of people you should avoid or be cautious of. Did you recognize any familiar faces on this list? Don't worry. We've all misplaced our trust at some point. The key is learning from these experiences and growing stronger from them. As Seneca once said, better to be alone than in bad company. The quality of the people in your life is far more important than the quantity. Choose wisely and protect your inner peace. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, share it with others, and leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Have you ever encountered one of these types? How did you handle it? Share your story and help the community learn from your experiences. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. More insightful content is on the way. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay calm, respect your values, and keep striving to become a better version of yourself. See you in the next video.